Hey there, guys and gals. We're here again with CodesEmpire, Jason and Bugs, and again we're still waterproofing her rig. So we're just going through step by step, and we just finished up her ESC, which you saw in the previous video, so it's good to go. Off camera I did do her receiver because, like I said, in our G6 build we did do a receiver. So like I said, in the links below you will find a video link for waterproofing your receiver, so go check that out. That way you can make sure to get that done. I am going to show you real quick how to get this receiver box ready to take your receiver, though, now that it's waterproof. So I've just got my drill here, and I just happen to have a 5/32 drill bit. Something small, it doesn't have to be big, just something enough to allow some water to drain out. So I'm just going to pick a spot somewhere midway so I can make sure I don't hit my drive shaft when I drill through this, because they will punch through pretty quick here. There we go. Boom. Done. Okay. Is there a little hole in there?
Yeah.
I guess it's not little, huh? Okay. Let me take this rag here real quick. Sorry about that, guys. Tip that up just because I want to get all the plastic out of there. Okay, perfect. There's your hole. That's it. It's just so we can let water, if the water does get in the box, it can drain out, because we don't want it to just fill up and store water over time. You know, not good for anything. So even though all of our stuff will be waterproof, we don't want to have problems with it. So real quick, Bugs is going to go ahead. She's going to throw some Velcro on the back of the receiver, and she's going to do it on the back of the ESC. I've already thrown some Velcro on the back of the box to accept that. I'm going to quick slap a piece on the inside. This one for the receiver, I'm going to put it towards the front of the box just because it has a little bit of a slope. I'm not going to put it right on this angled slope part. As you can see here, just put it right in here. Just that way it has somewhere to stick to. So that'll work good enough. Yeah, go ahead, Bugs. So while she's getting these prepped up and ready, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get this servo out so we can go ahead and get it ready to waterproof. So I can show you how to do it, because that's what we're going to do next. Up we go. Finished. Okay. We'll just slide the truck out of the way. So this is your standard stock axial servo. If I recall, it has a 133 ounce torque. It's a pretty decent stock servo. Gets the job done, especially if you keep everything pretty stock on your truck, which overall we're going to. Probably the biggest thing we're going to upgrade on this truck will be the lower links. Not a big deal. In my opinion, it's a must. Just because when you get twisting and stuff, for some reason, out of all of the axial lower links, the only ones in my opinion that you could probably get away with not replacing would be the ones on the Wraith and the AX10s. So in my opinion, those are probably the most beefiest and the stiffest ones. If Axial made all the lower links same plastic, that hardness, however, it'd be set. So you need a little help there? Okay. on there, ain't it? There you go. So, yeah, if they did that with all of them, they'd be set. You probably wouldn't have to worry about it. Do I like the aluminum lower links? For sure. It's definitely a well worth upgrade. So, it depends if you still have a stock servo or not. In this case, it's stock. It's going to be a pretty simple deal. It's not a 2mm, it's a 1.5. So let me grab my 1.5. Did you get those on there? Awesome, she did a good job. Everybody give her a thumbs up. Cool. She did awesome on both of them. So those are ready to go. Real quick, yeah, thumbs up for Bugs.
Yeah.
So we'll just slap these on here real quick just so they're out of the way and not getting tossed around on everything. And then we'll reconnect everything in a little bit. So, okay. So, there's that. Now, like I said, if you look at this very closely, you can actually, I want to kind of be careful because I don't want all my gears to pop out. So there's all our gears, and you could see, actually somebody suggested, and it's a good idea, if you want, you could look at replacing this bushing with an actual bearing, which is a cool idea. Probably would hold up a lot better and last a while longer. If you don't happen to have a bearing, or you don't want to get one, don't worry about it. You don't have to. I'm not going to. I'm not going to worry about that in this because stock servo, I'm not too worried about it. It probably helped prolong the life of it and help it go a little bit longer. I'm not worried. I have other servos to replace it with when this one finally fries out, so not a big deal. But I'm not too worried about it. I think it'll hold up and it should be alright for quite a while. So I am going to, and I'll go grab the grease here real quick, but we will put some water resistant grease in here. The blue marine grease, definitely must do. So we'll get some around here, and I'll just put a little bit in and around the gears a little bit, and that will help keep excess water from coming through the front there. So you could also put a rubber gasket on, or a little, yeah, a rubber gasket, I guess. You could put that on there. I've seen people do that. That works too. But I'm not, the grease will be good enough. I'm not too worried because the steps we're going to go through to actually waterproof this circuit board in here. So let's go ahead and let's kind of separate this a little bit. I'm actually, just because I don't want these to fall apart on me for now, I'm just going to slide this back together for a minute. Just wanted to show you. Okay, now you can see it just slides out. So we're just going to slide that out, and we're going to slide this one out. Okay, just to make it easier to get in underneath of, to make it easier to get underneath that circuit board and to waterproof it. Now, to be honest, I'm sitting here looking at this. It might have a little coating or something on it, but I'm not saying for sure it has much of anything if it does. So, and just looking at the bottom edge of the circuit board, I'm not seeing any critical stuff underneath that really needs to be waterproofed. All your critical parts and chips that are going to cause the frying out are right there on top. So, but because some servos, basically, this here chip you can actually pick up and just swing it on out. Makes it easy to waterproof. In this case, because the way it's built, you can just separate those and you can actually coat that really easy underneath. So that makes that part kind of easy. So not too bad. I am going to reach up under here and throw a little bit on the back side of that circuit board, just because I want to just ensure that we don't have any kind of issues with it. I don't think it's necessary, but preventative measures, let's put it that way. Right, Bugs? Better safe than sorry, right? Yeah. Okay, so see, we're just gonna get this coated here real quick so we can get this put back together as quickly as possible while it's still kind of wet and flexible. See now. Sorry I'm not keeping it on the camera the whole time. I'm trying to. It's definitely one of those processes you're trying to work as quick as possible, especially when you're dealing with 5-minute epoxy, because it literally sets up in 5 minutes. So, but in just a second here, I'll show it all to you. So, and I'm just getting around the edges of the circuit board, right on top of the wires there, coming into it, because I'll tell you right now, probably one of your biggest problem areas to all servos is where the little rubber gasket comes in, comes right onto the servo itself, where the wires go in and the rubber gasket on the edge. That's your worst spot.
Dad.
Yeah, Bugs?
I can see myself in these.
You can? Is it that shiny?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So you can see some of it started to run just because it's liquid. It's still, but this gasket right here where the wires go in is your weak point, because I can't tell you how many times I've had, you know, plastic dip, whatever, this is where they fail, because the water will somehow manage to work its way down one of these little groove channels and then work its way under the plastic dip and right through here inside, and you're done. So that's it. Pretty simple. Okay, let's get all of our little tiny spacers put back on here real quick. So yeah, you're gonna scrape these edges just a little bit. It's alright. And you'll see it kind of oozing out, and it's starting to already set up because it's getting sticky like tape.
And glue.
Yeah, and glue. So as I'm pushing these together, it's kind of squeezing some out, but that's okay. So what I'm going to do here real quick, not that I want to put the screws back down in, but I want to get this set up so when I get this compressed, everything before it totally sets up. So yes, I haven't done the gears yet, but it's all right. We'll come back and we'll do that here in just a minute. So let's get that all set in there. Okay. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten this back down. And if you wanted to, you could have done the gears first. That's totally your preference. Normally I probably would have. I just didn't want to deal with having a greasy mess and then dealing with this epoxy. So make sure don't over tighten those screws. Okay, everything looks snug, it's secure, everything's nice and level again. Okay, so we're good. Okay guys, so this is set up, it's good, got it opened up already for you. So we're gonna put a little bit of grease down and around here. I'm probably just gonna shoot most of it in and around in the top, just because it's a little easier to deal with and work with. I've got my grease gun here. I got my rags. Gotta love my pink rag. So whatever, right? This is how I reuse old worn out clothes. We cut them up and we use them into rags. So it's a needlepoint grease or needlepoint tip we put on the end of this grease gun. Works great for these trucks. This gun set up strictly for these trucks. I got grease guns for my full-size 1-to-1 truck. So anyways, so that way I can work on this a little bit and not get grease all over. Put a little swirl in there around that edge, a little bit up here, just so when I mash it in, it kind of mashes in on everything. Okay, and then Bugs, will you hold that? Just hold it just like that, and I will squirt some grease in and around it. Okay. Just gonna put a little bit down into there, a little on that side. Okay, look at this bushing. Perfect. Okay, let's move this off the table. So you can kind of see, it's not pretty, doesn't have to be. It's gonna mash up here real quick, right there. Okay, so this is how I do it. You know, you can do them however you would like. For me, this works great. So then I just take and line that in there. So we've got a little bit of grease squirting out the end. Not a big deal. It's expected. So we'll just wipe that off. Okay. You want to tighten those down for me?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and put that in there and
Wait.
turn it that way, just like that. Other way. There you go. So, this is how you waterproof your axial servo. So, just real simple, easy deal, and you put it back on the same way you took it off, and then reconnect all your electronics. Now, I'm not going to go back through and show you how to reconnect all the electronics. It's pretty simple. If you haven't done it before, when you reconnect them, if the truck doesn't start up, so before you close up your box, if the truck doesn't start up or it won't function because you didn't put them back in correctly. So it's definitely key to help you out. Just to kind of help you out real quick, so you know, the servo will go into your slot labeled steering, or STR. Okay, good job, Bugs. So it will go in. So the servo will go in the steering slot, and the ESC goes into the THR slot, or the second slot back. So there's only two ways you can plug it in. If you plug it in backwards, it's not going to work. Simple as that. So plug it in, flip it on. If it doesn't work, turn it off, flip it around, plug it back in. Boom, you'll have it. So I'll tell you right now, sometimes I'll put them back together and I gotta flip them around myself. So just a real quick check before you close that box up. So that way it makes your job easier and you're good to go. So that's waterproofing your AS3 axial digital servo. So you excited? We're almost done. All we got left is the axles. See? We're not even into it an hour yet. Cool, huh?
Yeah.
So the axles take probably the longest because it's the most amount of screws and everything you got to pull apart. So anyways, stay tuned for that. Links below. Like I said, you can go through them all. It'll help you get this thing waterproof. Thanks for watching CodesEmpire. Thumbs up. And please subscribe. We really appreciate it. Thanks to each one of you guys. So,
Yeah. Thanks for watching CodesEmpire. Thanks for watching CodesEmpire.
You heard that. Can't say it better than that. See you later, guys.